Yep.
Okay, so now we're getting to
Change out time.
change out.
So change out number one is our Autumn Breeze extract that we started in November 19th, page 74 of The Art of Extract Making.
Mm-hmm.
And this one we've been excited about. This is one of our, well, I mean, they're all favorite.
This
is a fantastic
smells
one.
delightful. This has all of those wonderful autumn spices, but it also has orange and cranberry and apple in here. And so instead of, like we have our winter spice that just has spices, just the autumn spices, this we're adding fruit to, which adds this lightness to those wonderful autumn spices. And it is fun. This, I tell you, you're going to love this one. Smell that.
So already it's the apple.
Can you smell the fruit?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
There's so much flavor coming out of there, and it's a holiday. The autumn spice, the winter spice. This one, that they're all, the autumn breeze. They're all kind of holiday forward extracts. So
any recipes that you're thinking?
Oh my gosh, the whole kitchen,
right?
Right.
The holidays, all of those pies and breads and cookies that you like. Those holidays. Autumn spices in. It's really
Gingerbread,
good.
pumpkin spice, banana bread, all those things.
It is really good if you splash it in your tea. You can put it in your grown-up hot toddies or wassail. Also, you could put it in a cocktail and it would be quite delicious.
Yes.
So there are so many, it's very versatile, so many different applications for this one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So change out time. Here we go. So we started November 19th. It's February 5th. We would have been doing this around, to be perfect, it would have been like January 20th that we're doing this. So we're a couple weeks late. It's fine.
Again, because it's fine, nothing is going to spoil in here. It's in the alcohol. The only thing that's going to happen is you're not going to get anything more from that fruit. It's just going to be sitting in there. I've had things that I've forgotten about, and it's been in there for several months past what I meant to. It's fine. Nothing spoils. It just stops extracting.
The only exception to that rule would be when we're doing more infusions with the extracts, like the caramels, the candies, the sugars, things like that.
That will soak up the alcohol.
Those need to get out usually on time. We don't want to let those sit too long. But that's why that's more of that's an extract with an infusion. So those you got to watch closely. But the extracts, the pure extracts, they can go.
Yeah, no, if you're adding caramel to things, boy, that caramel soaks up. But just the fruit, you're going to be fine. So check out all of the yummy little fruits and spices coming out of this extract.
And your point about how easy the French square is, there's so much in there and it pours out really easily.
Just like that.
So we love those for that reason.
Yep. And so what I'm going to put back in here is I am going to put back all of the vanilla and I'm leaving out the spices. The cloves, especially the cloves, if you leave those in longer, it can overpower the other more mild flavors of the fruit. And then it's just really cloves that you're, tasting. Yeah. And so you want to make sure that, those go out at this point.
But one thing too that, we've smelled so many extracts that we know the smell. If we had someone here that was smelling it for the first time, it's super concentrated. And to us, that's like victory. And so, talking about how the cloves are really, really strong. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be strong because when you cook, it diffuses and dilutes through everything that you're cooking. Your point still is the same, that if you're trying to have like a vanilla forward or, a fruit forward, and it's also got cloves or star anise in there, the cloves and the star anise are usually going to win. They'll overpower. So you can always add them in later if you want more cloves and star anise after the rest of the recipe extracts, but we recommend pulling them out. And then I think in this case, we leave the ginger in, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep. And so we like the ginger. We kind of wanted the ginger to come forward a little more in this one, in addition to the vanilla beans, but we're removing the cranberries, the apples.
Yes, the allspice berries and the cloves are coming out. What you want, I like the ginger. Sometimes ginger can really pack a punch. It can be quite strong. I don't think it is overpowering in this extract, but what you might want to do is taste test it now. See what you think. If you think it's, woo, there's a lot of ginger, go ahead and take it out. Everybody has their own kind of happy place with these different flavors. And so even though it's not finished, you can always taste test it to see, how are these ingredients, kind of melding together.
Exactly. So, like all recipes, I think we make the point in the book. I'm not sure, but taste test is what you were just saying, right? Like, go ahead and add a little milk, do a taste test, see what you think of the flavor, and then customize it to what you like most. You want more apple, you could probably go another round of apple. You want more cranberries, you could probably go another round of cranberries. We're just kind of doing what we know, what we like.
Yep.
That's what we recommend. So the apples, the cranberries, they will have absorbed some of the alcohol.
And the oranges.
Yep, and the oranges. And so you're muddling right now
I'm just kind of pushing it out to get whatever's kind of absorbed into the fruit out.
Yep.
There isn't a ton.
There's it right in the center there. You were getting quite a bit. But I'm looking at how much is in there. I can't see on my angle, but we're getting close to the 1 cup.
Now, you could always just let it sit here for a little bit and let gravity do its thing, but also evaporation will do its thing as well. So, I would definitely try and push out as much as you can when you open it up.
Definitely.
Oh, and there's that nutmeg. That goes back in.
Nice. And so let's talk evaporation for a minute. This has come up in our group once or twice. Someone actually just emailed us where they had one jar with like a cork and another jar with no corks, the same extract, and the cork one had evaporated. I think she was using an older cork. Alcohol does evaporate, and so if it's not sealed tightly, it's going to evaporate. And so you've got to make sure that it's sealed tightly so that doesn't happen. But most of the loss typically that you see when your alcohol levels drop, most of that is the absorption into the ingredients. Sometimes even really dry vanilla beans, they'll absorb the alcohol, and so it'll look like the water level or the fluid level has gone down, and people immediately think it's evaporated, but how could that be? Because I have a tight seal. Well, it's not. It's gone into the beans or other places. And so this thing that we did pretty quickly is really important because you're going to have absorption in multi-ingredient extracts, and even sometimes with vanilla beans, you have absorption. And so it's good to throw them in a strainer and just, strain and press and get as much of that fluid out as you can. On a recipe like this, if it absorbs a lot and you've got so much going on, you can top it off if you want. It's personal preference, right?
Yes, and the reason you can, this is a 12-month recipe, and so you're going to have a little bit more time for this, the topping off, a little bit amount of vodka to kind of soak up, extract all of the flavors that are still in here. If you were wanting to top off something that was supposed to be done in a month, you might have to wait longer because you're adding a little bit of alcohol. Now, I was just shy. I had a little bit less than a cup. So I'm gonna top off just a little bit. Plus, I'm gonna get
Let's show that if we can on the extract cam. Just you get all of this sort of leftover stuff at the bottom of the measuring cup. And so one point of topping off just a little bit is just to rinse out your cup, get all that caviar out. There's some flavor in there that we want to put in. And so we're okay on this one doing a top off because we like it.
Well, now I'm going to have 8 ounces.
Yep.
It was just a titch under the line there.
And then another trick for topping off that we talk about a lot in these videos is use a finished vanilla extract to top it off. You can do that. And that way you're not just adding pure alcohol, you're actually adding an extract to the extract. And so you'll pick up some additional vanilla flavor if that's what you want. So sometimes using like vanilla, this is another great use for your mother jar. Why it's so nice to have like this mother jar of vanilla, because it's like your emergency go-to place. I've got a little thing, I want to top it off, dip the ladle, like we have the big 1 gallon one, you dip the ladle in, and you have finished vanilla extract that you can use to top off something that's going to be vanilla forward anyway.
Yes,
right?
You can do that as well.
Fun tricks there.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so we're done, and this is going to wait it's going to wait the full 12 months. And so next November, this will be ready.
Love it.
And I'm going to take off. Right now I have change out. There's no more changing out on this one, so I take that off. And then I just leave it as is, and I still have my finished date on the bottom.
There you go.
And just like that, we have another one.
Tune in. That one will be done in November, right? Because we started in November, so it'll be done this November. So come on back November, right before Thanksgiving. We'll be taste testing that bad boy.